This is the Transformers Generations Studio Series number 30 Crankcase and number 3 Crowbar. This figure I picked up at Our Toys, and this one I picked up at Hobby Corner. Here's the side of the packaging, both from Dark of the Moon. And there were 3 of them, but I'm pretty sure Hasbro will repaint this one into a third one. Oh, it's the most efficient use of the mold.
Is there a problem?
Whoa, little Mexican standoff we got here.
Weapons down.
And we'll let you escape with your dignity. Drop 'em. That's good.
So here are the dreads in that little Mexican standoff against Ironhide and Sideswipe in Dark of the Moon, and they fit very, very nicely with these 2 other Studio Series figures. And yeah, and the scale is absolutely spot on. They have 2 different dioramas. This is from the highway chase scene, and this one is that Mexican standoff scene. They are the same figures, same mold, but somehow one is better than the other. Let's look at the general differences that they have. It's basically just color, and if you look at this one looks a lot closer to how the dreads look like in the movie. He's okay. I mean, I love the shading, the differences in gray and gunmetal gray and all that, but the black and deep gray silvers on this one just really makes this one a lot better looking than this one. So Crowbar was like the beta version, Crankcase is sort of like the final version. The head sculpt, it's basically the same. The chest, same. Everything's the same, just a stark difference in color. One thing to note though, that for Crowbar, his weapons are made of this sort of beige gray plastic, just like the tendrils or dreads that he has. And they are a little bit more tougher and more pliable than Crankcase's weapons. Now, Crankcase's weapons are made of this gold plastic. Now, I always cringe every time Hasbro releases gold plastic after what happened, Revenge of the Fallen and all that, and Transformers the movie toys, that they become very brittle. This one is not as brittle. It's pliable. It has a brownish hue to it. It's the same material they used for his dreads. They feel a little bit stiffer, and rightly so. This one, I just took it out of packaging, and already you get some stress marks there. I almost broke it. Let me just see if I can show you clear. There, right there. I almost broke it. I just took it out. I didn't cut the plastic tie, but right here, you can already see a lot. I really thought I was going to break it, but just word of caution, just be like that. Be very careful already. I can already see some white streaks right there, and this seems to be a lot more or less pliable than the first. Now, there is one very significant difference between them. That is the looseness of the figure. Now, this particular figure is very loose, and I can tell you that, and a lot of reviewers have been very annoyed with this. It's a very loose waist joint. It's really such a nuisance because there's no way to lock that whole backpack assembly. However, with the Crankcase figure, they've tightened that pin joint like heck. I mean, even this joint is very tight. These pin joints are just like 50, 100, 10, 20 times tighter than the first version. And that makes all the difference when you're posing the figure, when you're standing up, when you're playing with him. This one is he's just very flimsy. And that also translates with the ball joints. The ball joints on this one are much tighter. Not super tight, but they have much hold to them, and they're not as cumbersome and annoying as the first version of the mold. This one has a very loose ball joint, has a hinge joint right here. This one, on the other hand, is much tighter. He doesn't flop around. He's got a ball jointed shoulder, bicep swivel, hinge elbow, swivel wrist, but because of transformation. And again, that hip joint, ball jointed, the waist joint, ball jointed hip, thigh swivel, very loose again on this one. Hinge knees, and a bit of foot articulation right there. This one, very, very tight on all aspects. There's just so much you can do with this figure without getting annoyed. That waist joint will just annoy the heck out of you. So both figures come with nice instruction sheets, very nice, very clear. This is Crowbar and Crankcase. They did different ones. Amazingly, the transformation isn't as complex or cumbersome or annoying as the original Dark of the Moon Deluxe class figure. So let's get right to it. Weapons off to the side. What you want to do first is let's do the feet. Okay, fold the wheels up like that. All right, go ahead and fold feet down like that. Rotate the thigh, not the hips, just the thigh. Okay, like that. Okay, and then the arms. Fold in the fists. Ooh, gold plastic. Unfold these pieces right here. Okay, put them up, or yeah, put them up like this, like this. Go ahead and rotate the bicep, like that, and like that. Fold everything like that. Collapse it onto the legs, the arms, and torso like that. And you can obviously do this so you can see what's going on. Make sure you form the fenders and back of the truck neatly and properly. They stack up nicely. Then these are gonna go inside in between the arms like this. Open this one up, unfurl the entire roof assembly like that. Other dreadlocks are gonna go like that. Like that. This one is going to collapse nicely right here and there. And I thought that was pretty simple. I didn't, it wasn't as complicated as the original Dark of the Moon Deluxe class figure. I thought it was quite easy, and well done to the engineering team of Hasbro for making it as simple as that. Windshield, I'm gonna do it this way, and then the front part of the truck like this, fold it up, and that's tight, really tight. And at this point, you just fold in the doors like this and like this, and just tab them in like that, and this one like that. Okay, very nice. A lot of dreads sticking out. I know the instructions just tell you to just somehow tuck them all in like that. Crankcase in his Chevy Suburban car mode. And here is Crowbar. So yeah, the black plastic seems to be identical. Paint apps on the front, the other side, the rear end. Yeah, they look to be the same. The windows look to be the same, tint of blue. The light bars look the same. The main difference really is, I guess, the gray plastic that you see and the Decepticon faction symbol. The weapons, as the instructions say, they fit here, which is ridiculous because you'll obviously know either Decepticon. I'm surprised that they didn't find a way to somehow stick the weapons here. These are the actual weapons they used for that old Dark of the Moon figure, and with that figure they were able to find slots underneath and have them stick like that. And I wish they could have done that. I suppose you can just force it right here, but I wish there was a way that they could have found slots to just put those weapons there and just hide it, and that would have made all the difference with this figure. I mean, just add more brownie points to it. So final thoughts on these two figures. Should you get them? If you're a big fan of the Studio Series line and you're a completist, you gotta get both because they're numbered. Are they absolute must-have? If you could care less about the characters in the movie, you don't have to get them. Now, if you're thinking of just getting one, the obvious answer is you get Crankcase. This guy's gonna get a 9 out of 10. This one's just going to get a 6 out of 10 because of the looseness. And they're probably the best looking ones, the most accurate ones we've seen. This has been the Transformers Generations Studio Series number 3 Crowbar and number 30 Crankcase. Thanks for watching.